Hello everyone and welcome to a smash look at Frozen Cortex. This game was previously known as Frozen End Zone, whoever was maybe following it along, but it's now Frozen Cortex. Fraz here as always, and this is a game by Mode 7. You may be thinking, why does that ring a bell? Well, they did actually previously do Frozen Synapse, and the sort of core mechanics have almost kind of transferred to Frozen Cortex. But that what I mean is, you kind of decide your movements and then you submit them and they play out for you, and whatever the other player or the AI as such has done, they kind of interact that way, and you can get this way you can sort of change what the AI does. Like by that I mean you can click to what you think they might do, but probably not going to do that, but you never know. It gives you an idea of like how things might play out, and you'll see what that is in the game. Anyway, what is Frozen Cortex? Cortex, as I said, it's a lot like Frozen Synapse. It's a strategy-like title that's based in a futuristic sports-like world. You control robots that are placed on a randomly generated playfield, which is always pretty darn cool. Anyway, obviously first I go to the options. Now for some reason, the desktop resolution is quite an interesting one. It has all the resolutions, but when you want it full screen, desktop borderless, which is actually quite nice. I mean, you can click off and off the game without it actually crashing and tabbing. Quality I've got set to high at the moment. You've got everything broken down in your audio sections, which is always really nice. And then you get a bunch of other options just in here, which is always pretty good. Advanced is actually considered about when you're creating different games and you want to create your own custom league. Because you have leagues, you've got single matches, you can play with handicaps on, you've got multiplayer. I have actually been playing a good wee bit with Charlotte Shuffle. I have to say thank you for him for joining me for a little bit, because he's sadly not here for the video. As he says, it's a good game, it's just not really his cup of tea. Whereas to me it's just a bit more me, essentially. So I'm going to be doing this on my own, but it allowed me to sort of see how the multiplayer reacted, how it did. There was no breakages, it worked really fine. There was no netcode issues, the game started pretty quickly. So I mean, that's quite a good thing to see multiplayer. I might do a multiplayer match, but I'm probably going to do either 1 or 2 matches, show you like single player, show you how the aesthetics is, the graphics and everything, and that's what it's kind of what we're here for. Anyway, so the rest of it I'm going to discuss while we're at start game. I actually have a current game going, because you have Knockout, which is the main game mode, a permadeath challenge, get as far as you can without losing a match. You have about, I think it's around 8 teams you have to beat. You also have randomized teams, randomized players, coaches and such. And then you get play a long form season mode, This is essentially like anyone who watched football or soccer, if you're in America wise, or even rugby and stuff like that. It's going to be like, get points, and whoever wins at the end gets a cup. But hey, you actually have a nice tutorial. You have the tutorial and tutorial videos, which are actually really nicely done. And it kind of explains a lot of the game. I do highly recommend, if you're picking this up, do watch the tutorials. There's I would say there's a lot to take in, but once you get to grips with it, you kind of catch on pretty quickly. I mean, Sherlock had issues like kind of learning the game, but as soon as after I think it was like the 3rd game, he was winning all the time. I mean, you just once you get to grips with the mechanics, you're pretty sort of on the go, pretty fast, pretty quickly. So I'm actually going to go, I'll start up a new Knockout one, so you can just see how it kind of all goes on and everything. So play this, I'm just going to start a new one. I'm actually going to do it easy. The reason for this is because anytime I try standard, I get smooshed. Like within the first game, I just get wrecked. Because you lose one game, you lose the whole thing. So you've got to beat like 8 teams, which is pretty tricky. So I'm just going to do this so I can, discuss the game a bit. Easy enough. Anyway, Cortex, this glorious nation's favourite pastime. When human sport dissipated, the robots came to rule the field of play. And also smash each other to bits. One thing, it's interesting kind of note, because like, this game's pretty violent in a way. It's like to grab the ball off another player. I had one of my robots put their arm round one, grab him and crank him on the head. I was like, oh, okay, sure. Yeah. Anyway, so you have league standings. There's all these good guys here. I'm actually Smash Gaming, go figure. Coach tips, you've got the preseason, you've got like times and everything. It actually feels like a proper full out, built out season type thing. Everything's going to be there. So you've got the coach then. I'm just going to go next thing. You can customize their team. See there, I'm going to select this stadium type just to be a bit awkward. And then next, so you got the tutorial. If you haven't played it, it'll just remind you very nicely. And then you get, you know, anger over new ball weight, Western board. It's like news flashes. There's a lot of sort of little details that makes it feel like, you know, you're playing a proper league going on here. Anyway, so we got a call. Ah, yes, hello, Fraz. I thought I'd better remind you of the contract with the team. We're somewhat pressed financially this year, as such we'll be relying on match win bonuses. Now there is a lot, well, I wouldn't say a lot of dialogue, but there's no voice acting as such. But I'd probably have to say I'd rather enjoy the music. The music in this is so good, and I really freaking want the soundtrack to it. But I mean, it does actually say on Steam if you get the basic edition, it comes with the soundtrack. Mine I can't seem to get, so I'm going to go nudge the developers and be like, can I buy the soundtrack, please? It's pretty darn cool. This means I can't lose a single game. Just going to quickly go through this a little bit. If you want to pause and see it, there's not much else. So basically, it's essentially saying, you know, it's a permadeath thing with your whole team. You must win everything. I also like the art style of some of the actual characters. Some of them, like, they all have this, you can tell almost their personalities, which is pretty cool. Anyway, next event, so we can play team. We can also open our opponent's call and see Mentor Brack. Good to see you again, Fraz. I heard some interesting things about your team this season. Perhaps you will pose an intriguing problem. We must all strive to become better, Fraz. Our contest will facilitate this. So, shall we? I think we're probably going to be going right up against the Mentor Black Redemption. This is going to be interesting. Let's do this. I mean, the game actually does load pretty darn quickly as well. I mean, once you get by the initial thing, it's like everything's there. It just works. It just does. I also have the ECN. It's like, you know, get ready. It feels like a proper sporty type thing going on. But I mean, I would also like to say, you know, people that does play Frozen Synapse are probably going to love this. I mean, there's no guns. There's a lot of punches. And down the right, you have your free commentators. They're doing some lovely commentary there. It's so cool, like the world they've sort of created. And one thing I would like to note here, while the camera's just panning around slightly, how good does this look? It looks vibrant, it looks sharp, it looks awesome. Anyway, the planning phase. Yes, you go away. My personal desire, surely. So use right click to kind of dash about the screen. My team is the Blues. Basically, we have to get the ball into the goal. Now, each turn, sometimes it'll start with you, sometimes it'll start with the opponent. It'll be an offense. The offense must go down this way. The defense must go this way. The defense must also first get the ball off the other team to then take it north. And essentially you get 7 points as soon as you hit one of these. These what the? Jeez. These little blue glowing cubes, if you run over them, you get 2 additional points each time. So, essentially, you know, most points wins. Boils down to that. The environment you have actually is kind of made up of like blocks. Like you have got these blocks and these blocks. The higher blocks, which are these ones, I mean, if I zoom in, you can kind of see the difference here, shadow there. Higher blocks can't be passed over, but the lower blocks can be. So it's essentially, you know, you've got passing, you've got blocking, you've got catching the ball and everything. But then there's also the point of like if a character runs into your character, then they're going to punch each other probably. It's lights out. And then they kind of become almost stunned. It just depends what they have. Like abilities wise, if they'll actually, you know, be stunned for that full next round or be able to partake and everything. So anyway, let's begin. I mean, if I hit play, we'd probably see nobody's going to do anything, right? So I'm going to reverse that. There's little clocks down below anyone you click on. That's as if you want the player to wait. And also that music, jeez, I love it. But again, graphics wise, I love it. It's bright, stylized, and sort of clean and sharp. Some people might not even like that, but you know, each to their own. Right, I'm gonna have him block up that area, him block that area, him come around there. No, not. You hit backspace if you want to delete sort of ones. I want him. Do I want him to come around it? Yes, I do. I want him to come there, and I had one guy down there, so I'll have him block up that area. And then prime is when you pass on your turn, and then everything plays out. So you've got this outcome to watch. So it's like you're actually watching a gameplay. It's like, right, okay, everybody's going this way. And ooh, you can actually watch the games again. Like if I zoom in here and click this one, I can actually see what's actually happened here. And then boom, that crunch, that sound asset, the general feel of when a bot just grabs another one and cracks them, it's such a satisfying sound effect. It feels like it actually made a proper impact. Now if I just come out here, he's got the ball. Where's it gonna go? And if I come up to here, should be able to block that. If I bring him around here, no, if I take that away so he just goes diagonal across, I want him to come in there. He's gonna wait there, and you're gonna wait there too. Let's do this. Right, let's go. Outcome. Oh, you're passing it. Oh, okay. And they've got a point from walking over that. Great. He's gonna want to go that way. You're gonna want to come this way. You're gonna want to come back a little bit. Actually, gonna just kind of bring them back a little bit. Just they've got 2 passes, so you have a limited amount of passes you can actually use per game. You can also not pass and run at the same time with the character it's used on. He's gonna. What? Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I have the ball. If I do this, can I throw that? If I was to, no. These could be tricky. I could throw it that way in hopes that my character catches it. Or if I, actually, if I run here, or there, I could possibly throw it over there to here to throw it to him. This is a big if. I'm going to see if the ball carrier, oh yeah. That's one thing to also note, is the ball carrier can never run backwards. The ball carrier must always run forwards towards goal. So you always have this sort of pressure on, which is annoying. What if if I threw it there then, let's see if this actually works. System Prime. Oh dear. This is probably not going to work, is it? Yeah. Yep. Alright, fine. You catch that ball. I'm going to leave the other 2 over there, actually. I mean, so that's what it sees. Like, sometimes it becomes you're making quicker turns, quicker turnarounds, but other time you might be thinking, right, what are they going to do? Let's see the outcome. Where are you going to... Oh, no! Oh, no! They can actually shoot and score, which it doesn't head in. I don't know if he can catch that. But what I wanted to point out is the fact I could actually take him and move him and see, you know, the outcome. You know, if I wanted to see the outcome. And that ball... Oh, they're going to get the points, though, I think. And if I moved him there, you know, what would happen if they run into each other? They're going to crack each other. So it's nice to see that little thing, you know. But obviously, the opponent may not do what you're planning. And I'm going to prime that and see if I can actually stop them getting that ball. Run, my friend. Planning phrase. So I have the ball. I wonder if I was to throw that way. That's going to be one hell of a throw, but I want him to block him. I want him to block him. I want him to run that way. Let's try this. Let's see if this works. This is going to be one hell of a... Fraz is quite quick in the draw this turn, and we'll have to hang on for Mentor Black's return. Because if I can get him, there's nothing stopping him running up. Let's try this. And through. Catch it, catch it, catch it. Yes. Oh, okay. If I do this to there, if I run him through, might be able to get a few more points out of this. Let's see what we can do. Pick it up, run. And I'm going to get clobbered in the face, aren't I? Yes. Figured as much. But now he has a clear shot at down that way because I have no guys over there. Unless he can go for him. Somehow going to need to make this work. But then again, if he throws that over there, there's nobody defending him. Issues. Although this is a pretty cool, close match. Oh, he did throw it, damn it. Okay, so it's in mid-air. Where's it going to land? It's going to land right in it. Get him. That's basically the prime objective, is I want to grab a hold of him. Is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to do it? Go, 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 go. Oh, dear. Ah. That's him, got the points. Puts it down just like meh. I thought it's 6-9, so it's pretty close, but now we'll have to click next, which will move us on to the next one. So now I'm on the offense, and I can see everybody's stats quite nicely. They're all red. So I have to catch ball, and then I have to get down there. So I'm gonna go move him up there, move him there, move him there, and him down there to try and keep them out a little bit. So, hello. Ooh, smack in the face. Because if I was to throw that way, oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. Although I'm not sure this idea will work. Actually, see if we were to throw that way. He'd pick up the ball and then run that way. Yeah, we'll do that. He's blocked that. I'm going to block him. I'm going to bring him down there. You'll see why. You've probably already worked out what I'm planning on doing. Picks it up. And... Alright. So I want him to definitely go down that way. Are they going to stop them? I wonder. He's smacked him. Want him to wait. Want him to wait. No. I don't want him doing that. I want him to definitely run. No idea if this will actually work. System prime. As long as we can get some... Oh, 1 point between us. Damn. Should have mentioned up in here we'll actually say how many turns until the game ends. So, because that ball was down there, there's like 1 point no. But that says lost. And yeah, can actually, I like how the game is actually, you can see the full replay, you can hide the result, you can also directly upload it to YouTube. It's really quite nicely built in that way. You just go continue. You know, your season has come to an ignominious end. Meh, fine. Fine. These teams have been knocked out of the league. Yeah, because that, like, is a permadeath sort of knockout. That's the only thing. Obviously, you have the full season mode. Sadly, I lost, typically. Multiplayer is pretty easy. You know, you find a game, create a game in Team Editor, which you can go in here. Successfully receive the team from server. So if I, you know, open the stat window, I can then change your team. For some reason, you can't really rename your characters, but it gave me a character called Monkey Pants. I don't know how I feel about this, but the way this works is energy must always be in the plus. You can't have anything in the red once you save your team for multiplayer. So, I mean, if I do this, that's going to knock that energy down. Whereas if I do this, you know, it's going to do that. Although if I do that, you know, it balances it out. So you kind of have to balance, you know, this character's really good at blocking, but might not be so fast or have throw speed. Whereas this character's very sort of right-sided, you know, throw speed, strength, evade. And then you have, where's my runner? I'm sure I had a runner. I think it's Monkey Pants, actually. He's pretty fast at running-wise. So, you know, it has to either equal this, like it has to be in a plus, or 0. I mean, these ones are mostly all 0. So, you know, you build your team, and you can edit it the way you want, you know, to whatever your play style you want for taking on anyone else. And you must be able, you know, set the active team, and then back. And then you can just, you know, challenge any of these folks in here. You just click and, you know, challenge, and that's it. That's it done. Anyway, folks, this has been Frozen Cortex. I really hope you've enjoyed this smash look at it. The Steam link will be down below if you want to go pick it up. It's a nice price. Obviously, people who like Frozen Synapse are probably going to enjoy this a little bit more. But you've seen the gameplay. Hopefully you enjoyed. I know I have. I'm going to go try and find the freaking soundtrack. And I shall see you guys in the next one.